Mic off change.
Hello, good morning to all. Am I audible to you? Hello? Okay, thank you. Okay. Sir, Praveen sir, shall we start the session, sir?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning to all. Good morning to all. Today we have with us Lieutenant Colonel Praveen sir, who is an eminent personality and an expert in this area of professional communication. And sir will be handling module 4 of this subject. And I hope you will interact with sir. You will clear all your doubts and you must grab as much knowledge as you can from sir. Okay. And the session will be till 10:30. After that, you will be having your regular classes as per your timetable. Okay, so now I welcome sir to handle this session. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my dear students. I think we have interacted before during induction, and it's very nice to see you again in a class. I hope you are all going with the same fierce motivation, isn't it? So please respond in your chat box, please. Yeah, am I audible? Can you hear me? Okay. So very good morning to all of you. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. So please, this will be an interactive class. Okay, please interact with me in between. Then only we will have that good experience of taking a class. So today's subject is professional communication. I'll just share my slide. Can you see this? Yeah, good. Okay, thank you. Okay. So the first topic I'm going to take today in this session, today's session is debates and group discussions. Okay. So, and we will have a small, if possible, we will have a small practical session also with, I want 4 or 5 volunteers from you. With you, we can demonstrate to the others how a group discussion is taken place. So, before going any further, I would like to tell you that there are no curriculum or examinations for some of the most important things in life. See, there are so many things in life which we don't actually teach in schools, and we don't actually conduct an exam for that. I believe this is also a subject like this. What we are doing today is also a subject like this, like that, because I believe there is no university examination for this. But then, this is one of the most important things. Do you know that you have your success in life is determined 90% by your interpersonal ability, interpersonal communication ability, and only 10% by your technical ability. You go to any CEO or any top level management guy, you ask him or her, sir or ma'am, how do you define your success? What is the root cause of your success? He or she will say, the main contributor of my success is my ability to communicate. My ability to communicate with myself, that's also very important, with myself and also with the others. You must have all seen this commando movies in TV, right? There are so many commando movies coming in the TV. So there are, I'm very sure most of you must have seen such movies. Most of you must have seen such movies. In that you will find these, when they are in operation, they show some kind of a sign language. Okay, they will say this like in commando language. If you put your hand over your head, that means everyone attention, come here or come to this point. Okay, so when he says 2 fingers and he'll jab the finger at 2 people, that means you too have to do the next action. So in every profession there are very unique methods of communicating. So the moment a commando group, the troop went to go for an operation, what happens? They cannot talk. It's if they talk even in the radio also, others will listen and they'll be killed. So they do some kind of a sign language, isn't it? So there are certain things. I think light has just gone now. Hopefully it will come fast. Otherwise, if it persists, I'll have to log on from the laptop. Then I'll need a few minutes. Okay. Hopefully it will come within by the time UPS runs off. So if I go out of the conference, please wait. I'll join within the next 5 minutes. Okay. So this commando language is a method of professional communication, isn't it? So there are so many other communications. Like these things are not taught in schools and all. Okay, but that doesn't mean they are important. They are very, very important things. And one such important thing is financial management, personal financial management, which is never taught in any of the normal curriculums anywhere, but they are very, very important. So having said that, we can go forward. So before even going into the professional communication side, I would like to tell you what is natural leadership. What is natural leadership? See, if you see any arena, you will find there is an activity taking place somewhere. Okay, or for example, I'll tell you two vehicles come and crash with each other, and there is a confusion. So many people are there, so everybody is looking. You will find so many onlookers. And suddenly some people will come up, he'll say, okay, you get a soda, you get some water, okay, get a vehicle, and they will start picking up the people. So these are the people who are natural leaders. So leadership comes from within. Okay, you can develop leadership, but then leadership comes from within also. A man or a woman who has got leadership coming from within themselves is known as natural leader. So natural leadership is a very important thing. In all examinations and in all most of your interviews and everything, they are trying to measure the amount of natural leadership within you. So the subject I am going to take, the debate and discussion, are 2 things. Or debate I'll leave around. Debate is just incidental. Group discussion is the most important thing here. So group discussion is basically designed to measure the natural leadership also in you. And if you got natural leadership, it follows that you got good communication ability, and if you got communication ability, it follows that you can become a good natural leader. So both are complementary. So this is not only about communication, this is about the natural leadership also. So if you see in SSB interviews, service selection board interviews, which take people for armed forces, okay, see, this kind of test is tests are conducted. This kind of test, like test which determine the natural leadership and communication ability. Is there anybody who attended any SSB interview in this class? Can you just type yes? Is there anybody who attended an SSB interview here? No one? I'm not getting any answer. I think nobody is there. Can you hear me all? Can you hear me? Anugrah, can you just respond? Anugrah, can you just respond? Just type yes. Thank you, Anugrah. So the people, I think nobody has actually attended an interview. You know, which is the toughest interview and examination in the world. Which is the toughest interview and examination in the world. It is the interview and examination which is conducted to select the armed forces officers in NDA and Indian Military Academy and OTA. Okay, and other armed forces institutions also, because they do a lot of activity. This group discussion is a main activity, but apart from this, there are group planning, group task, command task, and so many other battery of tests are there to select the people. But nowadays, corporate companies are also they have also started taking these leave from the armed forces book, and they have also started conducting these kinds of tests for their executives. So basically, everybody wants a leader and a person who has got a lot of communicative abilities, so that he can actually control the environment and actually produce results. So this is the importance of leadership and communication. Okay, so going forward, okay. So I told you about natural leadership. Now we'll say, what is a debate? So debate, you must have seen debates taking place in US president election and all. This Biden and Trump. So they argue about certain points. He'll say, my idea is good. Other guys will say, my idea is good. So basically, a debate is an exchange of ideas. Okay. So see, there are so many different kinds of people in the world. Somebody is following some ideology. Somebody is following some ideology. This question is think this is good and that is not good, or that is bad. That's not the issue. Issue is, in all these point of views, there are certain points which is acceptable, and there are certain points which are not acceptable to us, or most of us. So it is not about being right and wrong. Please understand this thing. There is no black and white, right and wrong in these kind of ideas. Okay, it's all about some ideas you can accept, some ideas you cannot. If you see in today's world also, there are so many organizations and cultural organizations and political parties and political ideologies, but it may not be acceptable to us all. So some people say, okay, I believe in this ideology, I believe in that ideology. Somebody else says, no, that is not good, I don't believe in that, I believe in this. But can any of us say this is right or that is wrong? No, we cannot. Ultimately, there are some ideas which are good to us, which we feel is good, and there are some ideas which we feel is not good. So there is nothing about right and wrong here. Okay, so please understand, this is all about exchanging the point of view. So coming to debate is form of discussion. A debate will take place only when there are different points of view. Understood? There are only different points of view. If everybody is of the same point of view, what is the use of debate? Okay. Now this debate has got a very, very bad connotation nowadays, because if you see the channel debates in the TV channels, you find all kinds of bullshit they are talking, and all kinds of dramas there. So that is not a healthy debate. I'll tell you, that is not an example of a debate. That is just a cacophony. What we call as a cacophony. They'll keep shouting at each other just to paint each other bad and try to prove his point. So there is no sincerity in those debates. But when a debate is taken place, there are certain rules we follow. So one is, it's a form of discussion, and two speakers or teams exchanging their views on a subject. They will exchange their views, and speakers are given the chance to speak as they counter the points raised by other with the help of arguments. A healthy debate, either it can be a team debate or an individual debate. A healthy debate goes like this: Biden says something, and Trump is given an opportunity. Trump says some new points, he will cut some of the points of Bidden. He'll say, that is bad, Bidden is not right. So again Bidden speaks. He says, okay, what Trumpy said, this is the explanation. So this is a healthy discussion between two. In that you can attack others' ideas, you can justify your own ideas, you can explain your ideas, and turn by turn you keep speaking. So this is a healthy debate. Now, an audience is a part of the debate in the form of listeners. So there is an audience, and they will always chip in. They cannot speak; they'll only listen. Okay, they'll only listen, and no input from the audience. There is no input acceptable or is prudent from the audience. Audience has got no business except for listening and appreciating the speakers. Okay, meant to be constructive through an exchange of ideas. This is actually meant to be constructive. So whenever a debate is taking place, it actually gives a lot of ideas to the audiences and even to the participants, because you are always listening to the other man's point of view, and you are finding more and more justification to your point. So it is meant to be constructive through exchange of ideas. But I said meant in red color because of a reason, because in the TV debates and whatever debates you are seeing now, this is not happening because it becomes very unhealthy nowadays. Usually it's seen that speakers try to score brownie points over each other and also to win over audience, making a destructive debate. This is exactly which is happening in the channel debates. When somebody says something, other chap will say something about 10 years before, and the actual discussion, actual point is lost, and they will start attacking each other. And there is something called whataboutery. Somebody says, okay, this is happening. Why is this happening? So other guy will say, what about this when you are in the power? So this is called whataboutery. So these kind of things actually doesn't lead to a healthy debate. A debate is based on a subject, and subject has to be in the center point, and the pro and against side both have to discuss the same subject. They cannot go 10 years before, 80 years before, 800 years before. This is basically the subject has to be thrashed out, and people should understand the all nuances of this particular subject. So basic purpose of a debate is a healthy exchange of ideas and opinions. So basic purpose is basically a healthy exchange of ideas and opinions, but mostly it is not done in the public debates which we see nowadays. In schools and colleges, debating is an art of public speaking where the contestants are encouraged to exchange their ideas and opinions freely, taking turns to speak and counter the points raised by other contestants. So basically, you have to give your ideas, you have to receive others' ideas, you have to find out loopholes in his ideas, you have to justify your idea, you have to cut other guy's idea, you have to criticize it, and you have to constructively do it. Because constructive debate always gives a good output, a good outcome. So this is basically a debate, how a debate should be. I'm telling you how a debate should be. What we see today in TV and channels and all may not be a good form of debate. I won't support it. There are certain channels I have seen. They are giving very, very mature kind of a debate. One chap speaks and others wait, and then other guy is given an opportunity. And in usual channels, you feel everybody shouts at the same time. Actually, you don't know what they are speaking only. So I used to follow debates, very enthusiastically. But last for a few years, I have actually stopped following it because of this cacophony and unhealthy kind of debate. So this is all about a debate. So summarizing once more, okay. A debate is basically a form of discussion, exchange of ideas, and you are free to attack the opposite guy, and you are free to defend yourself, and you are free to put up new points and cut his points. All those things are permitted, and it can become aggressive. There is no problem in it, but then it has to be to the point. It has to be to the point. Okay. Now coming to the next part. So we are coming to group discussion. Okay. Now, group discussion is entirely different from a debate. So a debate, if you see a debate, it can be between two people. It can be between two teams. I used to be a very avid debater when I was in the college. So in the college, we used to have an annual debate competition, and also we used to go by teams. Okay, there is a team, 5 or 6 people in a team, 6 people probably in a team, 6 people in the other team. One guy speaks from a team, and one guy speaks from the other team. And second guy, the moment you spoke, in our what we used to follow that when we spoke, after we spoke, I lose the opportunity. The next guy has to speak. So whenever whatever he has to cut and all, we used to write chits and give it to him. So whenever the other guy is, other team is giving new points, we used to write this and we used to pass on this notes to the guy who is supposed to speak next. So this is how we used to do that. There are many forms. Okay. Now, group discussion. I think my UPS is about to give up. I'll just log in from my laptop and come with the next 5 minutes. Thank you. I'll be just back.
ഇപ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടോ? ഇപ്പോൾ ഓക്കെ ആണോ? ആ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാം ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Praveen sir, audible now.
Okay, okay. I think it's okay now. First, 1 second. I'll just put on that presentation. One second. I'm just setting it up. I think screen is shared now. I'm in the Google Slides now. So it may be a bit uncomfortable, but I think we can go by this. It's a bit slow also. So can we continue? I think you can hear me now, and you can see the slide also. Slide is a bit uncomfortable, but let me see. Can we continue? Can anybody respond, students? Okay, okay. We'll continue now. Okay, I am clearly audible, no? Anurag, can you respond? Am I clearly audible? Thank you, Anurag. Okay. Okay, so we were coming to this point of the difference between we were coming to the point of what is a group discussion. What is a group discussion? 1 second. I'll just represent it. Okay, there is some issues not changing. 1 second. Okay. Can you see the presentation? Anybody? Can you see the presentation? Can you see the presentation? Anybody?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. I think finally the problem is solved. So sorry for the interruption, and thank you for bearing with me. So we come to the group discussion. So in a group discussion, so unlike what we have seen in the other thing, unlike what we have seen in the debate, one person is speaking at a time, and there are two teams, there are a for and against part. In a group discussion, it's a discussion between participants on a chosen topic. So there will be a group of participants. Now, who are these participants? These participants will be generally be contestant for a job. Like you are going for interview, they will make groups of 8, and they will make you sit in a circle or a round table or a whatever in a fashion where you're facing each other, and they will make you discuss that topic. So participants are allowed to take part in the discussion freely. Here the thing is there is no for and against side. Okay, in this you can say pros and cons also. There is no problem in that. Pros and cons also. It's not that you are only will speak in favor of this and you will oppose this. Nothing is there. So it's basically your free exchange of ideas, and you can you can freely take part in the discussion. There is no turn or anything. Healthy exchange of ideas and opinions. So the exchange should be very healthy. It should be to the point. It should be valuable. And position for or against a topic does not matter as long as he can justify his position through reasoning. So in a debate, your position matters, because the people who are listening, they'll take sides. In a group discussion, there are no audience firstly. So in a group discussion, whatever you are saying doesn't matter actually, because you are for a thing or against the thing doesn't matter till the time you argue the point in a very good fashion. Your people who are watching you are watching, people who are actually assessing you, they are actually taking your ability to communicate and your ability to logically put in points. So the thing, they are not interested in subject as such. They are never interested in subject as such. They are interested in your ability to present the subject, understand the subject, assimilate it, and then how you are projecting it. So that is what they are interested in. So whichever side you are doesn't matter actually. And there is no winning or losing side in a group discussion. So in debate, sometimes in a debate, one side actually beats the other side by cutting all their points. But in group discussion, there is no winning or losing side. Basically, you are actually putting across your points. Leads to a better understanding of the topic. So in a group discussion, it should actually, the entire group should have a better understanding of the topic after discussion, because exchange of points should be so good that the entire group should become wiser. Reveal certain attributes in people that are otherwise difficult to identify. See, in normal normal scenario, when we are talking, so you don't come out fully. So all of us, most of us don't come out fully. We don't express our personality in a normal environment. But in a group discussion, you will find people using their logic, using their intelligence, using their ability, and they'll come up with so many points, and their part of the personality is revealed in this group discussion. And that is the aim. That is what your employer or interviewer wants to understand. An important tool for selection of right candidates for an organization. This is the great importance of you. For you, why is group discussion important for you? This is the answer to it. Because see, when a employer comes to a college or wherever, he's trying to recruit some people for his organization. Okay, so he has to get the best people. He is paying the candidate, he is paying the employee, so he has to get the best out of the employee. So if he has to get the best out of the employee has to have certain qualities, then only he will perform. So ultimately, the employer wants to see, if I am spending money on this employee, I will train him, I will make him work, I will pay him salary and all those allowances and everything. So I should get work. So is the employee capable of giving me the kind of output I am demanding or I am asking? So, and you will, for every job, you will find thousands of people applying. So how will you filter? How will you filter the good, bad, and ugly? Earlier times, it was very easy, because it was very easy to filter based on marks. In my time and all, they'll say there is this thing in this only 60% above need apply. In Air Force, they said only 70%. People who have got 70% in the university exam should only apply. That kind of thing used to come. Now there are so many court orders and everything, because your mark as such doesn't actually define your capability. You will find people who are scored just pass or barely 50% marks performing well in life, and people who are 90% and rank holders are not performing well in life. This comes in. So your ability is not connected with your marks, but marks is, even now, marks is a barrier. Marks is very important. I'm not telling that marks are not important, because in most of the places they will see your marks also, or that will be still a barrier in most of the places. So ultimately, they have to select people. So they will make group of 8 or 10 people and make them sit and throw them a subject, and they will observe how they are handling it, and they will take notes and select the people. Okay, this is how things are things are done. Knowledge and expression are both required. See, knowledge is not enough. If I suppose I got knowledge, suppose I got so much of knowledge, but I am mute, I cannot talk. Okay, I am mute, I don't have the ability to talk. So what is the use of that knowledge? I can write some books, and people may read them, people may not read them, but I cannot take classes. So with knowledge, you need expression. Expression is not only talking. I just gave an example. Expression is the ability to get that knowledge outside and present it in a form that others will understand. You will find some good authors, like the Harry Potter and all those books are written by such people, and they got so much of good expressive power. All the good books, the popular books, the authors of those books have got great expression. So that is why they are successful. So if you want others to understand that if you want others to understand that you have knowledge, you have to express that knowledge, then only they will understand. There is a saying, മലയാളത്തിൽ ഒരു ചൊല്ലില്ലേ, കുടത്തിലുള്ള വിളക്ക് പോലെ എന്നൊരു ചൊല്ലുണ്ട്. ഒരു വിളക്ക് കത്തിച്ചിട്ട് ഒരു കുടത്തിനുള്ളിൽ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിന്റെ വെളിച്ചം പുറത്തു വരില്ല. സോ പുറത്തു വരണമെങ്കിൽ there should not be any barrier. സോ സിമിലർലി നമ്മുടെ ഉള്ളിലുള്ള നോളജ് അത് പുറത്തു വരണമെങ്കിൽ അത് നമ്മൾ പുറത്തേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരണം. അതിന് നമ്മൾ ആ ഒരു ലൈറ്റ് റേസ് പോലെ നമ്മൾ അതിനെ പുറത്തേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരണം. എന്നാൽ മാത്രമേ your knowledge will be understood by others. So knowledge and expression both are required, and best tool to identify to mingle in a group. So how do they identify whether this chap can mingle or not? This is how they identify how these people can mingle in a group. Now, coming to the main difference between debate and group discussion. So debate is basically an argument. People keep arguing on the subject. They will say, no, you are wrong, I am right. Okay, that kind of argument. Whereas group discussion is exchange of ideas. In group discussion, you don't expressly cut the other's points. You say, okay, I agree with what you say, but then this is also a point. Like that you have to project. You just cannot say, no, you are wrong. No, that is because nobody is wrong, nobody is right. You should understand this in life, that everybody has got some element of right and some element of wrong in them. You find two people fighting on the streets. Okay, why are they fighting? You ask the first guy, he'll say, I am right, that guy is wrong. I am right because of these reasons. So you ask the other guy, he'll say, okay, I am right, that guy is wrong because I am right because of these reasons. So if you see, both of them has got some rights and some wrong. So there is no black and white, one is right and other is wrong, one is white and other is black. That is not there. So this is basically ideas. Some of them may be right. So I will not even say right or wrong. Some of them may be acceptable to some people. Some of them may not be acceptable to some people. So it's as simple. So it's basically an exchange of ideas. And in debate, we attack to win. We actually go after the other guy. And there are various forms of attacking the debate. There are various scientific means of how you can attack. You can personally, people sometimes personally attack. People sometimes attack the source of its information. People will try to prove that this guy doesn't know anything. People will try to prove that the information itself is wrong. All kinds of attack will be there. But in group discussion, we have to understand the topic best. Okay. We cannot just attack and then get away with it. We have to actually get in a way where we understand the topic. And speakers take turns to present their points. The speakers will take turns to present their point in debate, but most of the time it is a cacophony in the TV and all, but it's a actual debate. In actual debate, people are taking turns to present their points. In group discussion, there is no difference. Anybody can interrupt, anybody can talk, anybody can do anything without in a very gentle way. A speaker has to defend or attack to win in debate, whereas all views of all participants matter in a group discussion, because in group discussion, there is winner or loser. There is no winner or loser. People observing you are observing your capabilities and they are going to mark you. Within the group, there is no winner or loser. Either say winner or loser. You cannot say, I have said so much, now you fail. No, nothing. He will again give the points. Ultimately, they are seeing your ability. It's a totally entire different game. So in group debate, there can be disagreement. Like two political parties, they will never agree. Whatever they do, they will never agree on a point. I have never seen anybody agreeing in a channel debate till now in the last few years. So in group discussion, communication of ideas are taking place. Sometimes you have to accept the other guy's point. Sometimes you have to accept half that point. So ultimately, people at some point, after some point, you will find everybody is accepting some point of the other, and you are also accepting some point of other people. A debate can be destructive. You have seen people walking out of the debate, thrashing people, thrashing the other participant. But group discussion is always constructive and cooperative, because it has to be in a very constructive way, and people have to cooperate among each other to actually go through a group discussion. Now, the importance of group discussion is, firstly, you discuss and argue about the topic given. See, in the beginning, you are given a topic. So you discuss and argue about the topic given, and you have to express your views on serious subjects and in formal situations. See, it will help you to discuss, you express your serious views on serious subjects when you are in a job, when you are employed as in a very responsible position. You need to have these abilities. So these are the abilities which are actually given by group discussion. It improves your thinking. It is improves your listening and speaking skills. So if you participate, if you practice group discussions, it will improve your thinking, listening, and speaking skills, which is actually very, very essential skills you need in a job place, when you need in a career. Promote confidence level. So it promotes your confidence level, because you have that confidence that I can actually think about this, I can actually talk about the subject. If I am given a subject, I can think about various aspects of the subject, and then I can express it in a way people will understand. So this is, if you're in a sales job, or if you are in a HR job, or if you are in a manager job, there are so many people you have to actually convince. And how will you convince them? You can convince only through communication. So for that, you need this communicative ability. So this is the importance of group discussion. Effective tool in problem solving, decision making, and personality assessment. See, you must have seen so many meetings taking place in your college, also in various places. Okay, in your when you are in a workplace, you are a project leader. There is a problem in your project, so you call all the stakeholders. All of you sit and you discuss, you debate. Okay, you discuss, and the technical guy says some point, managerial guy says some point, the financial guy says something, and all of this put together, a solution will emerge. So this is how you apply group discussion in a real life situation. You must have seen various meetings taking place in a college with your academic council, your principal, PTA council. So these are all group discussions only. So through these discussions, they actually find out what is best for the college, what is best for the students, and what is best for the organization. So, and they implement it. So these are all group discussions only. Now, GD skills may ensure academic success. If you got good skills in GD group discussion, you can ensure that can ensure your academic success. Because what is academic after all? You are given a question, you are answering it. So if you are given a question and you can think about so many aspects of the question and talk to yourself, have a group discussion within yourself, and you can answer nothing like it, that means you have understood the complete subject very, very beautifully. Okay, and your popularity will increase. I was a very popular guy, because in my college, because I was a debater. There was no group discussion there in the college, but first time I did group discussion when I went for the army interview, in fact Air Force interview. And you become very popular, because in a college or where good debaters are actually known to all the people. Good admission or job offer. If you got this capability, you can get a good admission in your higher course or professional course, or you can get a good job offer, because your selection, wherever there's a selection. And even if there is no selection by group discussion, if you are good in group discussion, you go to an interview or go to just a normal interview, you know how to project yourself. You are very confident in yourself. So these kind of changes will come in you. It will help you to get a good job or a good placement or a good higher course or something. Speak with confidence. It will help you to speak with confidence. It will make you exhibit leadership skills. I told you in the beginning, natural leadership will come out when you participate in the group discussions. You become a better and better leader by and by. You progress in this. Make the group achieve the goals. Okay, when you are anywhere, if you are a football team captain, or a class committee captain, or a class leader, or if you are in charge of conducting your annual celebration, or you are a project manager in a company or whatever, when you are in a group, it will help you to make the group achieve goals. You can become a natural leader, and you can influence the group. It is basically a very great influencing tool. So you can make the group achieve the goals using group discussion. Now we will come to the conduct. One second. So can I get a feedback? Did you follow till this point? Did you follow this till this point? Difference of debate and group discussion, and some characteristics of group discussion I mentioned. Please respond. Anybody, please respond. Please type and respond. I'm not getting a response. Yeah, Anugrah, thank you. Anugrah is the only one who is responding. Others also. I know some of you must be logged on with login on with the mobile. But Niharika, thank you. Okay, Fatima, thank you. I am seeing so many people responding, because I need a slide feedback. If you are not understanding anything, please you type in the chat box. When I finish the thing, I will answer that. Okay. So you note the question, because See, this is one skill which is not taught academically in any institution. In most of the institutions, I'll say some of the institutions are taking lot of initiative to teach these kind of things, which because these are very important skills. Okay, so we will go forward. Now, how will it be conducted? Now, how will it be conducted? Now, I am talking about a group discussion you are going to attend when you are going for a job selection interview. Okay, so now who will be the panelist? Who will be the panel who are looking at the group discussion? So technical or HR experts will be there. Okay, in most of the good companies, you will find a psychologist or a psychological evaluator. Either he is a qualified clinical psychologist or behavior psychologist or counseling psychologist, or he is a trained evaluator, and they will observe and evaluate. This panel will observe and evaluate. So this is basically a group discussion conducted. There will be 2-3 people. Okay, HR expert, there may be a subject expert, but subject is not that important in this. And there may be evaluator or a psychologist who is observing all of you. Here, all of you will be observed when you are engaging in a group discussion. Okay, and generally the group discussion is conducted in groups of 8. 8 people will be in a group generally. Okay, now how will the GD be conducted? What are the rules? Firstly, the 8 of you will be made to sit in a table like this. Okay, how is shown in the figure. And initial introduction by the panel. Panel will introduce all of you. Welcome to the group discussion. And this is the time limit. And this is the expectation of our panel. We are expecting to have a lively discussion. And this is a topic we are giving to you. Sometimes they will give you multiple topics. Okay, they will give you, okay, this topic A, topic B, topic C. You discuss and find out which topic you want to speak. So in such cases, there is a discussion of topic also. So unwittingly, they are baiting you, right? Okay. So you are given 3 topics. Now you have to discuss among yourself to decide which topic you will accept. So when I did my first when I did my first group discussion in Air Force Selection Board, Mysore, I think they've given us 3 topics, and they have given a topic on that time. The internet and everything was not there. That time movie was the thing which is actually influenced the youngsters. So they gave a topic on the movie. So I was the one who started the discussion, and and some other 2 subjects I don't remember now, they gave, and I was the one who prevailed on everyone else to agree that we will discuss the movie because it's the most relevant subject. So you have to say, okay, this is the most relevant subject, and now we have to discuss this. Okay, so somebody may say something else, so that itself become a discussion. Okay, now panel does not interfere, they will observe. So once the subject is given, this panelists, they will go behind, and from a distance they will just 5 or 6 feet distance, they will put 3 chairs and sit there, and they'll keep watching. They won't even open their mouth after that. They will only note down points, who is performing. Okay, and in most of the debates, they give you chest numbers. They give you some numbers to display on your chest, so that it's very difficult to know the names and all. So chest number wise they will evaluate. And may provide some time to think over the topic or ask them to start immediately. Sometimes they'll say, okay, we are giving you three topics, you discuss and finalize one topic and start discussion. So you will discuss, finalize and start discussion on that topic. And sometimes they'll say, give one subject and they'll say, okay, think about for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, there will be a bell, then you can start discussion. So everybody thinks about the subject and there will be a bell and somebody starts. It goes like this also. Each candidate is supposed to express their opinion. Here, if you are not speaking in a group discussion, you are out of the group, you are out of the selection procedure. If you don't open your mouth, you are a loser. So you have to open your mouth. If you have to say something, then only you are in the game. Otherwise, you will be totally out of the selection procedure. Discussion carries on till panel stops. So discussion will keep continuing. Sometimes they'll press a bell, they'll ring a bell, and they'll say, okay, discussion over. Sometimes they'll physically stop it. Okay, time may be flexible as decided by the panel. Sometimes panel says, okay, they will keep, they will find, they'll be doing your assessment. Okay, they will find some candidate who is silent till now, actually started performing, and they will slightly extend. They want to see the candidate also, his performance also. Sometimes there will be some people who are late starters. Initially, they won't be able to get into the grid. But after a few minutes, they started interacting and then they started performing well. So if the panel sees this, panel says, okay, let him perform. We'll give a chance to perform. So they will increase the thing a bit. They will increase that in a bit. Okay. So this is how they do this. Okay. Okay. So just 1 second. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. I'm back. Okay. So this is the basic idea of group discussion. So now we go ahead and see what is the objective of a panel. The people who are selecting you, the people who are observing you, what is their agenda? So they must be having some agenda, right? So what is their agenda? They will check your team playing skills. They are watching whether you got the team playing skills. They are watching your ability to understand the other person's point of view, and they are making they are seeing whether you can make your point. They are seeing whether you can make your point, and they ensure that your team as a whole reaches a solution or agreement that is both feasible and accepted by the team members. So they will see who is performing how, and whether each candidate is a team player. Are they make other people understand? Do they make other people understand? Are they understanding other people's point of view? Are they making their points? And are they ensuring that the group is reaching to a common concern instead of creating a problem, instead of fighting? Are they taking the group together? So these are the things which are observed by the panel. So the panel's objectives are to observe this. Their objective is not to see the right and wrong of your subject. Their objective is not to take sides. Their objective is from your performance. They want to just analyze these points. So this is the objective of a panel in a group discussion. Now, what are the major areas of evaluation? We will call it SALT. Subject knowledge. Does this candidate has subject knowledge? Okay. So see, how will you have knowledge in some random subject? So somebody says, okay, discuss the issue of ladies going into Shabarimala, or discuss the issue of women empowerment, or discuss the issue of the youngsters not getting married in time, something like that. How will you know? How will you have this subject knowledge? They will never tell you to discuss about the properties of transistor or the recursive programming in C++. They will never tell you that. They will tell you a subject which is a kind of a GK. So they want to see that whether you are alive and aware of the world you are living in. So these are the things happening around us. So if you are if you are in a working environment, there will be machines, there will be processors, there will be computers, everything, but there will be a lot of men. You all will be working in a managerial or supervisor capability. There will be people under you, there will be people over you, there will be people working with you. So if you are not aware of the environment you are in, how will you adjust to the environment? You will find so many people with technical ability. There is no dearth of technical ability. Okay, but what about the managerial ability? Managerial ability comes from the awareness of the atmosphere you are living in. So your subject knowledge will be measured by these people. Your oral communication skills. Can you actually express? Can you actually convey what you want to convey? Whatever you want to convey, whatever idea is there in your mind, you have to convey it outside. So are you able to do it in a good fashion? Leadership skills. Do you have leadership skills? Can you actually use that leadership skills in an environment of other people to motivate them, to guide them, to take them into a common goal? Will you be able to do this? So this is a major area of evaluation. And team management. See, you have got 8 people in your group. So who is the person who is taking all of them together? Sometimes you will find people fighting each other. All these kinds of things will happen in debate. The discussion, group discussion. When you attend one, you will find different kind of people. Everybody may not be as trained as you. Some people will start shouting. Some people will start hitting on the desk. All these kind of things will be there because most of us think that debate is something like happening in the TV. So anybody who is not trained in this will create a ruckus. Okay, but are you? You will be the one to actually, because now you are being taught how a group discussion has to take place. So obviously you will be the one. All of you will be the people who are taking it to a good notch. Okay, so you have to do the team management. So these are the most important things. SALT, remember SALT: subject knowledge, oral communication skills, leadership skills, and team management are the four major areas of evaluation in a debate. Now moving on, subject knowledge. Thorough, you have to have good understanding of the subject. For this you have to read. Generally we know, in last year 2019, when this was happening in a college where I used to teach there. So I gave the students a class just before the selection procedure, because that time companies used to come to the campus and select people. So I was training a group of people, especially the EC, correctly, EC and CSE. I remember EC and CSE people. So I made them discuss certain subjects. So one of them was that time this Shabarimala issue was going on, and this Nipah actually just finished, and flood was there. So I gave them three subjects, and I made them do all the practice. Okay, I made them do all the practice. And just after 2 days, when the company came and did this thing, I got a message from a student. She is saying, sir, they told exactly the three subjects you gave us. Exactly the three subjects was asked from us for for this. So because these are the relevant subjects. Okay, so you all know which they are going to ask. Okay, because if you are aware of the latest happenings, if you got good GK, try reading papers, seeing the news snippets, and be in the loop of what is happening around you. Maybe now if there is a this thing, if there is a group discussion today or tomorrow or in this time, 100% the Taliban question will be asked. The Afghanistan question will be asked. Okay, so you should know what is happening, because most of the times the subject of the debate will be directly linked to the latest happening. So you have to have an understanding on the topic. You must be prepared to talk on a wide range of subjects, because if you have got the awareness, you can talk. So you must be prepared to talk on a wide range of subjects, especially the thing which is happening now. Okay, and be abreast of the current events, national and international affairs, burning social and economic topics, scientific and environmental issues, key newspaper controversial topics, and any experience. Can you hear me? Yeah, hope I am audible. Okay, does anybody know what is Murphy's rule? Any idea? Please respond. Anybody heard of Murphy's rule? Anybody? Are you there? Can you hear me? Yeah, Anurag says no. So Murphy's rule is actually a joke. Murphy's rule says that, if something has to go wrong, it will. That is Murphy's rule. Murphy's number one rule. So from that, we have made Murphy's rule of combat. There are 25 rules which we made in army. It says, there are so many rules. It says never be in a trench with a guy who is braver than you. Okay, because you cannot run away. So something like that. So this is a Murphy's rule day. So many things are going wrong, but it doesn't matter. We are here to actually carry out it in spite of all these things. Okay, so we were we are in this subject knowledge. Okay, why should you have thorough understanding? I think yeah, we are here somewhere. No, okay. So firstly, you should have thorough understanding of the topic, and you must be prepared to talk on a wide range of subject, as I told you. And ultimately, they are asking, they are seeing whether you are a natural leader. If you are speaking and the group is accepting your points, that means they are accepting you as a natural leader. So the entire game is on this fact that if people are accepting you, that means you are a natural leader. Okay, so this is what the panel is seeing, how you are being accepted as a natural leader, and the panel will observe the ideas put forward, the originality, depth of analysis, and their relevance to the topics, and problem solving skills are essential, and do not hesitate to give solutions. So in a group discussion, mostly sometimes you will be asked a solution, like in one of our group planning tasks. Generally some companies conduct all those things nowadays, all those military battery of tests they are conducting, and these tests are actually developed by a institution called DIPR Timarpur. In Delhi, there's a place called Timarpur. There's a Defense Institute of Research and Development there. DIPR, Defense Institute of Psychological Research, DIPR. Okay, so they are developing so many such tests, which is used in to select people for Army, Navy, and Air Force, and some other very sensitive things nowadays. I mean, so many organizations are research institutes are actually making such tests for even corporate employees. When these tests are needed when your stakes are high. Okay, there is something called a pilot aptitude test. A guy can a person can apply for it only once in his lifetime. If he passes it, he can become a pilot. That means he has got a natural ability to become a pilot. If he fails it, that means he doesn't have a natural ability to become a pilot. Still he can become a pilot, but then the expense of him making a pilot will be much more than the expense of making the first guy a pilot. So when an employee, a very, very good MNC is trying to get an employee, okay, recruit an employee, they want the best person, because they have got an expense of selecting him and training him, and his performance should pay off. So if they trained him so much and still is not performing, that employee is a disaster for that company. Okay, so this is where this natural leadership and the abilities of the person will come. Okay, that is why even now MNCs are also using all those techniques which was used to select military leaders, are adopted by all these people nowadays. Okay, And your approach to the case study will be observed keenly by the evaluators. I told you in the last slide. Okay. Now, oral communication skills. See how to develop, what is the importance of your oral communication skills. Communication skills is firstly most important. Without expression, the knowledge is of no use. I told you in the beginning. And ability to speak confidently and convincingly. It will give you an ability to speak confidently and convincingly. And good communication skills means you have to listen. Without listening, you cannot talk. So you have to listen. Now the listening and everything is coming in the subsequent classes. Okay, these are very important subjects because good communication skills starts from good listening. If you are not a good listener, you are not a good communicator. And clarity of thought and expression. When you are thinking, you should be very clear. Idea should be very crystal clear in your brain. And whenever you're articulating means when you're speaking, expressing it outside, it should be very, very clear and concise. Okay. Apt language and proper non-verbal clues. Your language should fit to the occasion and proper non-verbal clues should be given. Proper non-verbal clues means basically a gesticulation. When you're emphasizing something, you can show a hand gesture. Okay, we do a lot of gestures. So you have to firstly use apt language to occasion and proper non-verbal clues when you are engaging in an oral communication. Okay, now coming to listening skills. We all love to listen to our own voice. Even I am speaking to you, I am falling in love with my voice. All of us fall in love with our voice, but we have to listen to others. To have an effective communication, we have to listen to others. So we have to actually stop that urge to speak and then listen first and then speak. Unless you listen, you cannot contribute. So if you are not listening to his point, how will you answer his point? And listen very carefully to pick up the thread of discussion and continue. So people are discussing in a sequence or whatever, and you have to start from the thread left by the other guy. Okay. So he said some point and you have to pick it up from there and continue the point. Active participation as a listener in a group makes a person a good leader. So if you are actively participating in a group, it makes you a good leader. And leaders are readily identified by the panel. So believe me, the people who are sitting there are experts. And even if you are not expert, I'm telling you, see, we will actually have a mock actually because of this electricity problem. We may not get time today, but we will have a discussion. Maybe on the third day, we will have a group discussion organized here. Then you will understand how will you only understand who is contributing. It is very obvious. Okay. So if an expert is sitting there, he will actually read you through and through. So leaders are readily identified by the panel. So they are basically looking for the leaders. Now, clarity of thought and expression. Whatever you are thinking and whatever you are expressing should be very clear. So clarity is the art of making yourself clear to the audience. Okay. Whatever you are saying, it should be made clear to the audience. Clear expression is halfway to convincing. If you are speaking clearly, the other guy will get convinced almost, at least halfway will convinced by your speaking style only. Okay. More than words, tone matters. Okay. Your tone is very important. So somebody will say very evenly, will say, okay, more than words, tone matters. You should not do too loud or too soft. It is something reading. It becomes actually irritating. Okay. So when you are speaking, you have to give emphasis to certain points. You have to actually modulate your tone. Then only that is very important. Okay. You have to modulate your tone. You should not be too loud or too soft. Firstly, if you are very soft and mumbling, people will lose interest. If you are too loud, you will be taken as aggressive. So you should neither be too aggressive or you should neither be too soft. It is not the loudness but the content which matters. There is a saying in Hindi which says, "Baaton mein dam aana chahiye, awaaz mein nahi." Say whatever you are saying should carry the weight. Your voice should not be loud. Okay, but the matter you are speaking should be loud. That is what it means. So the content should be very clear and very, very heavy, and your voice may not be loud. Lively and cheerful voice with appropriate modulation will attract the audience. If you speak very, very nicely, in any case you can attract the audience. And proper articulation of words achieved through phonetic accuracy is very essential. So if you are going for a discussion or something, try to speak in a good way. See, there is no point in speaking in a very artificial way. I'll tell you, speak in a natural way. Like all of us has got accents. Okay, all of us are speaking one language, and some of us are born and brought up somewhere. So that local dialect will the accent of the local dialect will always seep in to all languages we speak. Like I cannot speak Hindi. I've been in North India for quarter of a century. Still, when I speak Hindi among Hindi people, they'll readily understand that this guy is a South Indian. Okay. Even when I speak English, this accent will come in it. So there is no point in fearing it or getting ashamed of it, or getting what do you call that, getting intimidated by it. You just speak naturally. Others will understand. Okay. Try to improve your vocabulary. Try to improve your phonetic accuracy, but speak the way you want to speak. Never be having any inhibition. Inhibition should not be there. So first thing you have to take out is inhibition of speaking. The people from Kerala and Tamil Nadu and all, we have a lot of problem when we speak other languages. Okay, because we generally don't indulge in speaking other languages inside Kerala. I am very sure among you always speak Malayalam. You prefer Malayalam. But when you are speaking in such an event, you have to speak English, and then sometimes you will get stuck because you won't get the right word. So the solution is, when you are among yourself, speaking among yourself, try speaking English. Okay, the next 3 years, if you keep doing it, your fluency will be good, and you will slowly you will speak correctly. So see, there will be so many students among you who studied in English medium, some in Malayalam medium. So there will be a change. There will be a slight difference in how they handle English in every day. But if you start speaking in your class, if you take addition and you start speaking English to everybody, after a few months or one or 2 years, all of you will learn to speak very correctly. Otherwise, even people who studied in English medium, you will also forget how to pronounce words. So you have to speak in English among yourself to improve this skill. Now, slang and artificial accents are to be avoided. So slang is local usage, okay, local usage kind of a words, and artificial accents, like some people, just to show that they know good English, they'll start speaking in a different way. നമ്മൾ പറയില്ലേ കുറച്ച് മലയാളം പറയുന്ന ടൈപ്പ് ആ രീതിയിൽ ആൾക്കാർ സംസാരിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങും. So avoid these kind of things. Speak naturally, be natural. Content ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. Whatever you are going to speak, you focus on that content, and you focus on that logic, and you focus on clear delivery. Forget about your accent, forget whether you can speak English correctly, forget about your grammar, but you speak the content. This is what you should do. And apt language, firstly, language should have smooth flow, simple language, appropriateness of language, no errors in grammar. There are so many rules. Okay, be precise, be polite and courteous, proper non-verbal clues. Here, this is very important thing. Okay, when you are speaking, non-verbal clues like your eye contact, body movement, gestures should be. When you're speaking to somebody, you make eye contact with him. When somebody is speaking, you make eye contact with him. And your body movements, you should not do any kind of unnecessary movements with your body, because fidgeting, rubbing hands, rubbing eyes, that kind of thing will show that you are nervous. Okay, it's not resort to those kind of things. And gestures should be nice. Okay. Gestures is basically, sometimes in some cultures gestures are actually taken as offensive, and in some cultures it's taken as okay, and some cultures it's taken as essential. Okay, so you need to actually learn how to do gestures. If you see good speakers in TV, if you see good speakers in TV, in TED Talks and all, you can see how they are using gestures, how they are emphasizing a point, and they are using a hand movement, how they are saying a very melodramatic point, and then they are looking to one side and turning their head to one side. All these kind of things will be there. So you can you can learn this once you go and see some kind of TED Talks in the YouTube. So, and your facial expressions should also actually match with the idea you are speaking. Like when you're speaking about some tragic thing, you cannot have a cheerful expression. Okay, and when you are talking about some very cheerful thing, you cannot have a very tragic expression. Okay, that doesn't match. So you have to see the facial expression also. Okay. So all these things are important. Your non-verbal behavior and body language and actually betrays your personality factors: nervousness, cooperation, frustration, weakness, insecurity, self-confidence, defensiveness. All these things are readily read by other people, also the panel, from your body language. So your body language should always be very balanced. Okay. Now, Determinants of success. What are the determinants of success in a group discussion? Firstly, it depends on your ability to be initiator. Are you the one who is initiating the group discussion? Are you the one? And you have to be information seeker also. You have to ask others for more information in a group discussion. You have to give information. You have to be a facilitator. Some two guys are actually fighting with each other. Okay, you have to intervene. You say, okay, don't fight. Okay, let him speak first, then you speak. Okay, you become a moderator there. Okay, you can become a opinion seeker. You say, okay, I feel this is the thing. Can I know the opinion of Mr. Rajesh? Okay, or can I know the opinion? Like you will find some guys who are actually speaking your point of view. Okay, in the discussion, some other 2 or 3 other people are speaking your point of view. So you give a new point and ask their opinion. Okay, they'll support you. Naturally, they'll support you. This is a technique in the group discussion. So you can be an opinion seeker. You can be an opinion giver. Okay, one guy is saying something, you can support him by giving an opinion. You can, okay, I support him in this, but however, but you generally don't use however. However is a more positive word than but. Okay, so you can be a clarifier. One guy is giving a point, he is not able to express it. You can intervene. Okay, I think Mr. Rajesh is wanting to say this. What he means is this. I think this is what I understood. Am I right, Mr. Rajesh? Then he'll say, okay, yes, you are right. Thank you for helping me. So this is how you clarify somebody's point. You can summarize. 2 or 3 people are beating around the bush. So you can intervene and say, okay, Mr. A, B, C, and saying, are this, I could understand that. Summary of this is this. Am I right? So they will agree. So this is how you become prominent leader in a group discussion. Social supporter. Okay, you can support people, some people in that. Okay, tension reliever. If there is some fight going on, you can intervene and relieve the tension. You can become a compromiser. Some 2 people are actually not leaving their points in the discussion, and they are actually taking the discussion to a very aggressive level. Intervene and make a compromise. Okay, I think Mr. A is also right in this. I think Mr. B is also right in this. But this third thing we can discuss. Can I ask the opinion of Mr. C in this thing? So you diffuse everything and you made a compromise there. You can be an attacker. You can actually attack a person in a group discussion. You can be a humorist. Humor is the best form of attracting people. So when discussion is going very boring or very aggressive, you can actually try to humor it out. Okay, you can be a dominator also. You can dominate the discussion also if you got that capability. So these are various roles you can play in a group discussion. From initiator to dominator, you can play a lot of roles in a group discussion. So the success determines success is defined by how you play these roles. You may not play all the roles, but whatever roles you play, if you play it very correctly, play it very attractively, you can become a real success. Okay. Now, the differentiators are the differentiators means the thing which is differentiating these 8 people from each other while participating. There are 8 students sitting there and doing group discussion. So what makes them different? What differentiate each other? Suppose I am the assessor, I am the panel. So how do I decide Mr. A is good and Mr. C is no good? Okay. It is firstly the amount of participation. In a group discussion, you have to participate. Somehow you have to participate. If you don't speak, you are lost. You cannot be a silent spectator. Silent spectator are totally out from the scenario. Even ever dominating but not contributing much. Some people make a lot of noise, but they don't contribute. They always create, no, this thing, that thing. They'll keep shouting and all, but they don't contribute. Those people are out. Member who participate actively exhibiting his knowledge and the knowledge. So you will find member who is actively participating his knowledge, and you will find some moderate people. 90% of the people are moderate, or maybe at least 70% of the people are moderate. Okay. In a typical group discussion, you will find almost 20% people who cannot open their mouth because you forget about them. Okay. They will not even open their mouth because they are very, very, scared or something. They will not open their mouth. You will find 2 people or so dominating also. They know everything. They are know all. Okay. And there are 60%. If you see 60% are, they are moderate ones because they may say something. They are doubtful. They'll try to attempt this kind of people. Okay. So the moment you come ahead of this a lot, you are the winner. Okay. So this is how you have to work out. So if you are a moderate one, you have to make yourself a dominating one or a participating one. Okay. Your ability lies in analyzing the problem well and making others endorse your view. So what differentiates a winner and loser in a group discussion is that if you are able to analyze the subject properly, understand the problem, and project the views on that particular subject and make others agree with you, that is very important. You make others agree with you, then you are a winner. Okay. While appreciating other point of view, you should effectively present your without contradicting other opinion. So you have to appreciate others view. You may not agree with it. There is a difference between appreciating and agreeing. You can appreciate other point of view. You can present yourself with contradicting others opinion. How you do it? Somebody says something, you say no, I don't agree with it. No, as per me this is like this. So that is outright aggression. Okay, that is contradiction. You say, I appreciate what Mr. A said, however I would like to point out that. So the way you are presenting, that is excellent. That's how a team should be. Because instead of becoming a total outright attacker, a total outright aggressor, you are actually appreciating his point of view, and like a modification you are suggesting your point of view, or as an addition you are suggesting a point of view, or even you can contradict without contradicting. You say, but I feel like this, and however I would like to add this. There's a lot of difference in the way you speak. So this is how you should actually take the others into your side. Okay. Your ability in convincing the team is your success. So ultimately you are successful when you can convince the team of your point. See, in a discussion of around 8 people sitting there and discussing, you will find 3 people following this thing, 3 people following one view, and you find 2 people not joining this side or that side. That kind of a situation will come. Many situations will come. Okay. So what you should do? So when firstly you have to be convincing, you have to analyze, you have to put your points, and you have to convince. More and more convincing you are, more and more participants will join your side, and more participants will join your side. Entire group will migrate towards your point of view. When entire group migrate towards your point of view, that means you are the leader of the group. This is all about that game. So in this thing, you will find 2 or 3 people with good leadership qualities. They will keep fighting, and though you will find 2 or 3 senders. That doesn't mean you are out. If you are one of them, still you are you will be selected. Okay. You are expressing your leadership abilities. In some of the discussions, you will be the undisputed leader. And in some of the discussions, you will be one of the leaders. And in some of the discussions, you will be one of the most dominating leaders. Okay. You may be the most dominating among 2 or 3 leaders. In some of the discussions, you may be the least dominating leader, but still you are a leader. Okay. So the panel understand these things. Panel is just seeing whether you understood the subject, you are applying logic, you have clarity, you got good expression, you got good convincing power, and is the group migrating towards you, or are you able to influence the group? You may not be able to totally dominate the group, but are you able to influence even part of the group? It is a success. So you have to understand that how you can succeed in a group discussion. Now, coming to the leadership skill part, earlier I told you this thing, leadership skill part. Leadership skills are certain qualities which is required to lead a group of people in any environment. Okay, so through the group discussion, panel is actually examining your leadership skills. So communication and interpersonal ability is the greatest hallmark of a leader. So I told you one thing, a good leader will have good communication and interpersonal ability, and a person with a good communication and interpersonal ability can become a good leader, can be trained to be a good leader. Both goes, so both are right. Okay, so in both way the company will select you. So in a group, there are no appointed leader. 8 people are sitting at par, all of your candidates you are discussing, but the leader emerges by assertiveness. Is assertiveness, emotional stability, objectivity, decision making power, and discretion. Discretion means you have to actually understand what is right and what is wrong in a situation. Ineffectively, they are creating problems, so you intervene. There you are actually diffusing them. That means you are actually using a discretion. You are taking initiative for various things. You should take initiative in the group. Good communication skills goes without saying. I have been throughout last 2 hours, I've been telling about good communication skills only. Okay, patience. You have to have good patience, but the time is limited. Patience doesn't mean that you keep sitting patient till end of the discussion. Patience means you should not become impatient. Okay, that is the meaning of patience. Patience is not that I'll speak after everyone speaks only I will speak, I will wait. That is not patience. Patience is avoiding impatience in this context. Please understand that. And persuasiveness, how can you persuade the other guy to accept your point of view? Various, this all these things I have written, all these small words I have written, all of them will demand 1 hour to 2 hour classes. Persuasiveness is a great thing which is used in sales and HR and everywhere. There are books written on persuasiveness. How can you persuade a chap? There is a research going on this. Okay, this is your this thing entire business. Okay. And your adaptability. Are you adaptable to a particular situation? The group discussion may become smooth, it may become aggressive, people may start fighting there. Can you adapt to all those conditions and then still control the group? This is what we are looking at. Okay, so a good leader should neither be very authoritative nor submissive, but must be democratic. Please understand, in modern day leadership, it is a participative leadership or democratic leadership. Okay, authoritative leadership is no more the norm. Nobody likes it. Okay, a good leader should neither be very authoritative nor submissive, but must be democratic. Such leaders see to it that all members in the team participate, and then there is a problem, try to deal with amicably. So if you are a leader in a group, you will ensure that everybody is participating. So if you are dominating the group or if you are influencing the group, okay, so somebody is just sitting quiet. So you can say, Mr. X, I've seen you have been sitting quiet. Why don't you give your opinion in this? So maybe that guy is basically, very scared or something. So then you give them a cue. Okay, I believe this is thing. Do you agree with me? So try to make him speak. Okay, and your panel is watching. What panel is seeing is that this guy is trying to get the entire group involved. So panel is not just seeing the group discussion, the win-win or all this thing. Okay, panel is seeing this person is trying to get others also involved in the discussion. There are some people who are silent, not able to participate. He is bringing them also into the discussion. That means this guy can actually lead a group. So this is what they are using, what they are seeing. I hope I made this very clear what the panel is seeing. Okay, leaders should know how to deal with the bulldozers who make noise but not have any logic. You will find so many people only creating noise. Okay, they'll say no, that is not right, but they will never give a logical point of view. You can find some of these kind of people in channel debates. Okay, they'll shout, they will interrupt others, they will do all the drama, but they don't say any content. Okay, so every leader should be very aware of these people and you should handle them. Now, the roles I told you in the last slide, in the success part I told you, the roles are these: initiator, information seeker and giver, procedure facilitator, opinion seeker or giver, clarifier, summarizer, social supporter, harmonizer, tension reliever, energizer, attacker and dominator. More role as per this we have actually discussed earlier in the success slide. Okay. Now, what do the panel want from you? Panel want you to be a team player. You should have good reasoning capability. You should have leadership traits. You should be flexible. You should be assertive. You should have initiative, and you should have creativity. You should have out of the box thinking, and you should be inspiring, and you should listen to others. So these are the expectations of the panel. This is just a summary of the things we have already discussed earlier. And in phases, so in a group, phases are like this: initiation or introduction, central group discussion, summarization, conclusion. Panel will come, they'll introduce the subject, then they will go and sit behind, you discuss among yourself, and then sometimes panel will ask the group to give a summary of the discussion. Somebody who's selected by the group can give the summary, and the person who's giving the summary is actually a natural leader. Okay, so this is the this thing. So what do you do in GDC? Some points I'm repeating because this is a very important subject, because this is one thing which is going to actually help you to actually clear an interview. Okay, so speaking is important. Do not sit silently, speak freely. You have to speak. Do not monopolize or become too aggressive. Give everyone a chance to speak. Maintain eye contact with everyone of the group, and show active listening skills. You have to actively listen, This active listening I will teach you in the subsequent classes. Okay, there are so many things which are in this slides which I will take you clarify in the subsequent classes. Show active listening skills. Do not interrupt anyone while they are speaking. Keep the topic on track and don't be irrelevant. One should not be irrelevant. Encourage someone who is silent to talk. I told you earlier, somebody is not speaking, encourage to talk. Do not argue with anyone. Don't get into unnecessary argument. Do not debate with everyone. It's not a single debate. Okay, it's a group discussion. You don't start fighting with one guy and start debating with that guy only. Do not repeat what has been said. No repetition. Be attentive. Try to develop the idea expressed or give out new ideas. Clarify your doubts then proceed. If there is a doubt, you have to clarify that first and then only you can proceed. Be brief. You have to be very brief when you're giving the points. Do not commit grammatical errors while talking. While talking, try to avoid grammatical errors, but grammar is not everything. There will be so many people who have studied in Malayalam medium, everything. You should not be bogged down by these points. Okay. Ultimately, you have to express the content. Everybody understands English nowadays, and all of us can speak English very clearly. Don't worry too much about the grammar and everything. This is something I have to teach you. I taught you that line, but don't worry too much. If you can, speak freely, no problem. Okay. With this, I come to the end of the presentation. Now, I think it's time. Can I get a swift feedback from some of you? How you liked it? Can I get a swift feedback from some of you before I leave? Yeah, anybody? Can you please type a quick feedback, or you can switch on the mic and tell me also. Both way. I hope you are all there. Anybody? Any feedback? You understood, not understood, or to be explained more? No, I'm not going to continue now. Class time is over. Just I need a feedback in just next 10 seconds. Anybody? Yeah, thumbs up is good enough. I think from mobile it's difficult to type also. At least I got one feedback. And thank you. Anybody want to give feedback? You can give feedback in the comment box. Thank you very much. And there was some disturbances. Sorry for the disturbances. Now we can take the break. And thank you very much. We'll see this batch tomorrow. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So students, your regular class will continue from next period onwards. And CS students, during the 7th hour, you are having my assignment class. So just join at 3 p.m. Okay. Thank you. We may continue the session tomorrow.